Hi, class. I decided that I would make a video in case I didn't have PowerMap installed on the instructor's podium. So this is data from the Hurricane Katrina, and you'll find it in the course documents area of Blackboard. Uh, it's I believe, data from the Aspen book, but you'll look for it and figure it out yourselves from the course documents area of Blackboard. All right, so Katrina occurred in the year 2005, and we see that it started on August 23rd at 5 o'clock p.m. that our data is presented. It also has latitude and longitude data. Now, this is what is required in order to put it into a map. And then some other things that have to do with hurricanes. Now, I've never lived where there have been hurricanes, so some of this is not quite that evident to me, what this means, and some of it is quite evident. So I'm sure that we'd figure it out if we were living in a place where there are hurricanes. All right, so let's go to Power Maps. We go to the Insert tab, and then we have something called 3D Maps. So this is Office 2016, I guess. In 2016 Office, they're calling it 3D Maps. In 2013, it's called Power Map. So when I click on that, it loads a nice map, and I just click on the map and it brings it in a much bigger size. Now, I'm always amazed at how this stuff is covered with boxes that kind of interfere with my ability to enjoy it. So I'm just going to delete these boxes. So the first one is the field list. It has a little X on it, so I can just nix that out. And then I want to see here it is, the path of the hurricane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one, and it's going to bring it so that I can see it, turn it just a little bit more, so I can see the path of the hurricane quite nicely. Now, this annotation here, I'm going to delete this for the time being. It turns out that I took the time to put it into Word. The words that are on the annotation, I just copied them onto a Word document because in a little while I'll actually want to look at them again. So anyway, this is what the annotation says. But let's stay in Excel. That's just after I delete this thing. When I want to resurrect it, I can do so. So let's see here. Remove annotation. Of course, it's not going to let me do that now. Remove annotation. Okay, so then that thing isn't in my face. All right, so in order to see it a little better, I can just press on the plus sign. Now I have a touch screen here, so I can just pull it over and make it even larger. So what we have now is a depiction of that geographical data that we looked at in the beginning. And we can change what we're looking at to see different visualizations. So I'll go now. I had a clustered column, stacked column is what they call it. Then this one is the clustered column. It's not going to change anything with that, but I can go to something called a bubble map. And this one isn't particularly interesting to me, but I guess maybe it would be to somebody else. And then another one that's over here called a heat map. And I like this one. The intensity of the wind, I think, is with that red color, and the cooler colors, the green and the blue, are depicted as well. Then finally, we have this one that is regional, and this one doesn't work on our data. It works if you have things like states or counties in your data, that, the names of states or counties, regions, human the demarcations that we as people have made on the world. All right, so actually the most interesting one is the stacked column, or the clustered column. But we see that the coloring that we had and liked has gone away. Let's put that back in. So I click on the field list, and from the field list, I'm going to select category and drag that down to the category box. And when I do that, the coloring comes back. It also gives me this legend, which I don't like, so I'm just going to delete that. Well, I thought I could delete it with. Okay, I tucked it away so I don't have to look at it. Now, I think what I'll do is I'll add the annotation back. So I'll click on that one that was the highest point, and I'll right click it and I'll say add annotation. Let me add annotation. Oh, see if I use that kind of, if I get that kind of thing, maybe I'll be able to add annotation. All right, and so I named it. I took the text for the title and put that in my Word document. Doesn't seem to be here anymore. Let me see. I'll go over to Word, and the name of it is highest wind speed. But I'll just be super clever and take everything over into Excel, into my annotation box. I'll put the put everything down here in the description, but highest wind speed is the title, not the annotation itself. Let me just delete that from here and put it up in the title. Okay, so that's our annotation, and it's back again. Now, what we could do is we could add a layer to what we have here. And the reason that we put a layer in is that we would like to see the pressure as a heat map underneath. What we're looking at now is the wind speed and the category. So before it made landfall at the highest wind speed, apparently the category was severe. It was red anyway. And let me see if I can add this layer. So in the layer, I'm going to put in pressure. Where is pressure? Pressure, we'll add that to the category. And we'll pick heat map over here. And I don't see any changes yet. Okay. All right, so anyway, it's not working out with what I'd expected, but what I really did want to show you is that we have a play axis down here like we had with PowerView. So let me just clear up our workspace and take this annotation off, remove annotation, and then I'll do the play axis for you here. And this is pretty cool. It shows the progression of the hurricane over time. So there it is, class, how our hurricane has what it did to the world. Doesn't want to stop doing that. All right, I'm going to leave it like this. You know what, class, I think I want to add time. So let's see down here. We go to layer 1 because that's the one where we have all the categories, and it says none. So there. All right, let me see if it. I'm used to having a clock ticking its way down on the screen, but I'm not sure how to make that come back in. All right, well, these are all things that you can work on when you play around with the visualization yourselves. Good luck.